making an awesome steak. On today's episode of Do Stuff, Drink Beer. All right, folks, welcome to the first ever Do Stuff video for Do Stuff, Drink Beer. I'm Dan. Today we're on the deck, and because it's so nice out in November here in Jersey, I've decided I'm going to do a Do Stuff video about how to get the perfect grill marks. I've already fired up the grill. I'm getting the grill grates nice and hot. So in order to get those restaurant quality, steakhouse quality grill marks that everybody's looking for, it's actually very easy as long as you keep a couple things in mind. First of all, you're going to need to know a little bit of spatial awareness, and you're going to need to know something about the second law of thermodynamics. Check it out. So, the second law of thermodynamics means that energy can only transfer from a higher concentration to a lower concentration. In the instance of thermal energy, or what we call heat can only move from a hotter temperature to a colder temperature. And the bigger and difference between these two temperatures, the faster the heat will move. Pretty interesting, right? And pretty handsome professor, if you ask me. So now that we understand that heat transfer and how it's going to go, we can now use that to our advantage when we're grilling the steaks on the grill. So I've got a sirloin steak here. I've seasoned it very lightly, just simple kosher salt, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. That's it. That's my suggestion. If you guys want to put something in after that, like you want to put in some herbs or something, I suggest you wait towards the end, because what will happen is the herbs will end up getting bitter, and we don't want to have bitter herbs, and we don't want to have anything messing up the flavor of our steak. I'm going to put this on the grill right now, and again, according to that video, the bigger the temperature difference, the faster it's going to move. This guy here, this is probably going to be about 45 degrees. My grill grates, they're about almost 400 to 425 degrees right now. When you look at the thermometer that's on your grill, that's the approximate temperature of what the surface is that you're going to be cooking on is. There's going to be a considerable difference. So what we're trying to do to get those grill marks is we're actually going to sear the surface of the meat. And we're going to impart those lines from our grills. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to open up my grill right now, and obviously my grill grates are front to back, parallel lines. I'm going to put my steak on about a 45-degree angle to the grill grates. So you hear that sizzle? That's the heat transferring from my grill grates to the surface of my steak. They're initially putting in those first lines. So what I'm going to do, because it is kind of cool out, I'm going to make sure that my lid's covered just a little bit, because I don't want to lose all the heat. Remember, if we shorten the temperature difference between the grill grates and the surface of the meat, we're not going to get that instantaneous transfer. I want to be able to keep my grill as warm as possible and make sure that the surface of my meat still stays plenty far away as far as our temperature is concerned. I'm going to grill it for about 5 to 8 minutes on each side before we flip it. Now you probably don't think that's a long enough time, but I like my steaks mid-rare, so that's how I'm going to make this one, mid-rare. It's got a little bit of pink inside, a little bit of pinkish red, if you ask me. If you prefer a mid or mid-well, you should leave it on for a little bit longer each side. But keep in mind, we're going to be flipping this quite a few times, because instead of just getting the regular straight parallel lines, we're going for a crosshatch pattern. I think it's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, and it really shows off the time it took for you to do this. So if you see, what I'm doing is I just put this on and I'm giving it a couple minutes. But what we're going to do is when we go to flip it, we're going to want to give it a little tug, just like this. Nothing crazy, because what's going to happen is the meat will tell you when it's ready to flip. So don't go pulling on this if you think it's time. The meat's going to tell you what time it is. This is the watching paint dry portion of Do Stuff Drink Beer. This is when I really wish I had brought a beer out, but I didn't. But don't worry, I'll have one later. And why, yes, I am wearing a chef's coat. In case you're wondering, it makes the food taste better. Give it a little tug. She's ready. She's telling me she's ready to flip. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to take this guy and put it right back down in the same place, because now that particular part of the grill grate is actually cooler than that around it. So with me holding it up, not only am I letting the grill grate get warmer, but I'm also letting the meat get slightly cooler to increase that temperature difference. So what I'm going to do now is I'm simply going to flip my hand over and put it on a different part of the grill. So if you notice, now my original marks are in line with the grill grates. So I put it back to a same 45-degree angle, but now I'm going to impart those grill marks on the opposite side. When we go to flip it back over, I'll flip it simply just the way it is, and that'll create the crosshatch. Looks good. How's this one going, huh? Going good? Yeah? How you doing? How are you? Good? You good? Is the family good? Cool. Wish I had pockets. Chef's coats don't have a lot of pockets by design. Brian just started his truck. He's going somewhere. Hey, Brian! Say hi to our fans! That's it. That's all you get of Brian this week. Are you ready? There we go. She's ready to go. So now you see how my lines are there? If I put it back the same way, I'm going to end up having just lines over lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it at a 45, but in a different direction. And I can tell that I'm correct because the opposing side has the lines that are directly in line with my original spot. We're getting close. We're getting close. You know it's good when the fat guy dances about food. Okay, you ready? Let's take a look at it. B camera. Holy dog shit. Look at that. Now I want to make sure I can get my grill marks again. See the line? I'm going to want to put them back on another 45. So I'm going to do the same thing for this guy. And there's my crosshatch. And now here's the thing. You could use this on chicken as well. The difference is, instead of doing a crosshatch pattern, you could just do the regular old parallel lines on chicken. You could try the crosshatch pattern. However, chicken being more delicate, it might dry out from the flipping back and forth and the additional searing. So my advice, you guys do what you want, but my advice is to simply just do a single pass on each side, especially if your chicken cutlets are very thin, or if you're doing a full chicken breast. What you might end up having is you might have a spot just in the middle that gets the crosshatches, because if you're doing a full chicken breast and it's rounded on the top, it's only going to sear the part that touches the grill. And the last thing you want to do is put some weight on that chicken and try to smush it down to get more even, because you're going to squish out all the awesome juices. That's that natural flavor. Believe me, you don't get this big without knowing how to cook. Oh, good Lord. And there it is. I mean, come on. So there you have it, folks. Perfectly grill mark, crosshatch, gorgeous. I wish you can smell it. Oh, God. Listen, I don't care if it's November. I don't care if it's a little cold. If I can get to the grill, I'm grilling. Try this yourself. Go in the comments. Tell me how it worked out for you. Tell me your rubs recipes. Just tell me hi. Say hi to Brian. Like and subscribe. Thanks for stopping by. I've been Dan. See you next time. I'm going to do a lot of editing later. And well, that's pretty much it. So you might as well just fucking edit that shit out. That's dumb. Dumb shit. Dumb shit, right? Dumb shit. Dumb shit. Dumb shit.